South Africa has come through a lovely Easter weekend where we've had some time to spend with Christ and some time off, and we just, we take the time over Easter. But what happens after Easter? 1 John 1 verse 7 it says, "But if we walk in light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus, his Son, cleanses us from all sin." Let me read that again. 1 John 1 verse 7. "But if we walk in light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus, his Son, cleanses us from all sin." And that is what we do. Goodbye. Only kidding. And that is what we do. We have fellowship with one another because we walk in the light. So we first choose the light, and the fellowship happens. We as Christians know that God is a God of miracles, and is a God of understanding, and is a God of foresight, and is a God of just knowing everything about you. And so we actually wake up every day a little bit wondering what God is going to do. We wonder and we look for those great encounters. Or we go to these wonderful conferences where we just get filled so with love and from God, and people come and preach and touch our souls and make our spirits soar, and we sing praises to God. I don't know when that's going to happen again. Or we go through an Easter weekend where we spend a few days just drinking in on that, like the death and the waiting and the resurrection, and just what our purpose is in all of this. So we yearn for those wonderful great encounters of God, and we kind of live for that. But we live for that because it reminds us to live our mundane life in the light. If we live in the light of Christ, that we are meant to be, that when we come in alignment and we are covered, but not overshadowed, but covered by this incredible light of God, that is actually the continual true encounter of Christ. I'm going to wait a while, let you think about that for a minute. I myself love being noticed. A few days ago, I was having a really, really rough time. And I dropped so many balls, I just kept dropping them, and I'm like, oh, let this day end. Oh, can't even. And a friend of mine said, I'm not going for coffee today, but you are. Something that she does every day, one of the days in the week. I said, what do you mean? And she doesn't live near me, so she couldn't take me for coffee, but she sent me a voucher. Just love tech when it sends me coffee. I'm not even going to lie. And she sent me an SMS for a voucher to drink some coffee. And I was looking for a place to go and have coffee because my daughter was busy and I didn't want to ride home. It's too far. And it was such a great encounter for me. It was just so amazing that God let her buy me coffee. And not only that, she kind of gave up her own coffee, and I know how she likes her coffee. That moment where she can just sit and revel in that wonderfulness. And so she allowed that for me. And that for me was just this great encounter because God knew what I needed that day. And he knew that I was dropping balls when I woke up. I was dropping balls even the night before. And I just kept, that whole day was just about dropping balls. And I didn't even have to pick up some of the balls. I just left them because God sorted them out for me. And then I realized as I was sitting having this cup of coffee that, and it was a huge cup of coffee because now I had a huge cup of coffee's price, It took me forever. And as I was drinking this cup of coffee, I was just going, Lord, thank you so much. This is such a big thing. And he went, it's really just a cup of coffee, Abel. And I realized that it was such a mundane thing, but it was what God had put in somebody else's heart. It was this great encounter. It was like a miracle just for me that day. And then this is when this came to me. We live our lives in the light. That is the great encounter. And every day, seemingly mundane thing, but actually, it's the great encounter. And those of us that love Christ get to do it every day. So you know who you are. Thanks for my coffee. And Lord, thank you for my great encounter daily. You have one too today, I pray. Have a wonderful day, and we'll speak again tomorrow.